stop supporting
supporting the stores, then they would definitely,
do it yourself.
Yeah. And certainly we're lucky in the area that we live in. There's one major supermarket that does have a lot of organics available. So if you really couldn't, if let's say you live in the city and you couldn't even, I can't imagine, because you could still plant little greens on your your back terrace or something, or have greens, do sprouts, or but
it would have to become a priority. You'd have to stop watching TV. So.
Yeah, and I would throw away the microwave. The microwave is very bad. I don't know if I finished the story of there was a case on the books of when they were doing an ortho case, and it was a hip replacement, and they needed to transfuse the dude, and unbeknownst to, and they didn't have a blood warmer, which is rather important during surgery, and they don't want to further increase risk for the patient if it's a very they come frozen from the blood bank. So the nurse who was helping with the case decided to put the blood into a microwave, and they didn't know about it at the time. And now maybe there were other situations, other circumstances with this case, but the gentleman died. And I find that, well, apparently no other noted cause, but I think it's very interesting. As we were talking about before, that the microwave does at the molecular level alter
good old radar
what's
range.
In there.
It radiates.
It radiates, and so throw away the microwave. And even a toaster oven is not that much more time. Do everything that little bit slower way, but the tried and true way. I don't even care if you rub two sticks together and you put a fire underneath something that's healthier. The convection ovens are fine too. It's just, it takes a little bit more planning. I use a slow cooker a lot, and I think that's probably the best appliance I have in my kitchen.
Would you recommend gas stove over an electric stove? Or
because of my viewpoints, I mean, I would recommend probably. I'm a chef too, so obviously the gas is nice. I mean, for the stovetop, you can't beat it. But I don't support the fossil fuels, and so from that standpoint, maybe they need to redesign the technology a little bit to make the electric come up to speed. But we need, as a nation, a lot of us need to be thinking about getting off the grid and not supporting that whole thing, because all of that matters too. All of that increases the pollution in our air, the pollution of our food and our waters, and what does that do for my specialty? We see more preterm birth. We certainly see more childhood asthma. We certainly see more obesity in children because of all the other stuff with the foods that we're talking about. All of these things interconnect. It all matters. So let me see, what are the other recommendations?
Well, that's from a food, right? You're doing food. How about recommendations for women? If we have a woman right now listening to this that is pregnant or is thinking about getting pregnant or is in that kind of a situation, where can she go to learn a little bit more about all this stuff and consider maybe a midwife over a doctor or a hospital routine, and then maybe even up her game if she's really feeling confident going the home birth route? Because I would recommend it myself.
Yeah. At this point, I wish I could say my identity, because on my website, there's a lot of wonderful links. But an organization called MANA, that is the Alliance of Midwives in North America, that's a different organization than the ACNM that I mentioned before. And so they have, a lot of great links off of that website. But even if you just go on your browser and you type in home birth, you're going to probably pull up a lot of these really informative websites. So use the internet wisely in that way, educate, but also list your questions and go and interview providers. It's not really that hard to find out who's doing home birth in our state. We don't have but one birth center currently. Hopefully that's going to change, and that's in the big metropolis. But we don't have anything here, so it's either home birth or hospital birth. But go and interview different providers with your questions in hand and see what they have to say. And after you've done all your research, I think it becomes pretty clear. And bring your husbands with you. because they need to be a part of that.
Yeah. If you have a husband, or if you have, there's a lot of situations.
If you have a boyfriend or fiance who's going to stand by with you, bring him.
It seems like in every, I might not even include this, but it just seems like there's such a decline of the family. It's really declining, hardcore, and that's just the nature of things and the systems that's stacked against us. But
or maybe if you don't have a boyfriend and your parents are helping you, have your mom come, but have your dad come too.
Whoever your support person is.
And just to say that, because your mom is still a mom and she's still a woman, so she's going to worry like you're going to worry with you. And your dad or an uncle, whoever, a strong male in your life, if you don't have the father there supporting with you, is going to be able to look at the facts maybe a little bit more objectively, in the sense of he doesn't have all those hormones raising and all that fear going on, and he can help calm you down, help you think through things. I'm not saying that women cannot think objectively. That's
no.
not the statement I'm making, but
there is another perspective. We all play our role in this situation.
Yeah.
I think this is the best health episode we've ever done.
Absolutely.
Good.
And I think we spent more time on health than midwifery. But
I'm already thinking about like what am I going to title it, because it's probably like a Vaccinology with whoever. Whatever the name is. Oh, hey, can you explain again, Jill, what is the name that I'm going under? Jill something.
Oh, Monroe.
Can you explain, because I'm not really familiar with Charlie's Angels. I know of them, but I never really got into that. It was kind of before
it's sort of not even a black ops, but it was the old series was these three beautiful women who were part of the police academy. I think they were all in Los Angeles, if I remember right. And Charlie was this, you never got to see what he was, this John Forsythe voice that you never got to see. He selected them, handpicked them because they were brilliant women, but as usual is the stereotype for brilliant women, men, when they had to go in sort of undercover, men weren't expecting for them to have brains and beauty as well, so they could just sort of seamlessly go into the situation and uncover the bad guys and win the day. And so just kind of sneak in there and be sort of surreptitious. And
So Jill Monroe, she was your favorite one?
Oh well, I just liked the name.
Oh yeah.
I liked Farrah Fawcett because she, like her character, she was misunderstood, and she actually was a very brilliant woman who died of cancer.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that Farrah Fawcett died?
I'm not up on all my knowledge of all that stuff.
We find the study of these materials a little more relevant than the celebrity headlines.
Well, that's some history,
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. I was just wondering. I know that you kind of talked about it before. Well, how about we just say thanks?
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes,
my pleasure.
On behalf of Dan and I, we both really.
It was a pleasure to actually be here for the interview.
Yeah,
I'm glad that I was able
Aren't
to.
you usually here?
No, I am, but I had missed it last week.
Oh yes.
And then it hadn't,
Well, that must have been why it turned out this way.
I think there was a reason, definitely a reason, and I think Dan was the reason. So, but we really appreciate you coming out here and being a part of this, and I hope we can do it again and wax intellectual on some more things. I have to get quite a list of questions together for you next time. But
we'll go down deep on psychiatry at some point, and the psychology sciences and all the antidepressants, and that'll be a fun episode.
That is very deep.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. Okay. I don't know what else to say, so thanks.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right, well, welcome back, everybody. Wow. What an interview. I mean, Sam said it in the intro. She really unleashed on so many topics. The one thing I got to say that I appreciate about Jill the most is Sam had mentioned that earlier, she knows a lot about topics you wouldn't expect a midwife to necessarily know about. But she said during the interview that she takes the time, she researches, she verifies all of this information. She studies down on all these different topics because as a midwife, she really is advising them about all this information, and she doesn't want to just take what, the medical community is pushing. She wants to know the answers for herself that she's researched. And that really keeps with the kind of guests that we've had on here. We search out our own answers, kind of thing. But I really appreciated that. If my wife and I were considering having another child right now, or God were to cause that to happen, I'd want someone like Jill who cares enough about my wife and our child to really take the time to find out the truth about what's really going on.
And I think somebody like Jill, who is a midwife 24/7, I mean, she's always on call because she's always doing home births. So if she gets a call, she's out. She's done. She's always, she doesn't, it's not about her plans. Her plans are basically, well, keep my schedule open for the births that I've committed to, and I think I'll just throw this verse out there while I'm at it because, Matthew 24, we've talked about Matthew 24 many times. It's very popular in these circuits here. Matthew 24:19 says, "But woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days." And I just can't help but think, if we are in the end times or nearing the end times, then somebody like Jill is a godsend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, right?
Oh, absolutely. And like I was saying, someone with that knowledge and that personally verified information in this age of really disinformation, where we're fed a line from the mainstream media and medical community, is really a godsend. I mean, and we touched on vaccinology, as she calls it, in this episode, just in vaccination. I would encourage you, by the way, if you're listening and this is the first time you've come across the whole vaccine thing, and you're like I was, right around before I got married, I was like, no, my kids are getting vaccinated, absolutely. And my wife to be was a little concerned because she knew that they shouldn't be. At the time, she thought we just needed to be selective, and I was like, okay, sure. If you've never heard this and you're going, this sounds crazy, just take a look into someone like Mary Tocco. YouTube her.
Yeah, she's great.
And just listen to what she has to say. And as Sam said to me when my wife and I were pregnant with our first child, we're not going to tell you what to think. Just research it. Look at it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think everybody here should be doing that anyway. But yeah, there definitely are concerns about what the ingredients are in these shots and the whole cocktail method of numerous heavy metals and chemicals. I mean, it's not something that I don't think God wanted. God would have given it to us if we needed it, right?
Absolutely. Or put it in creation so where we could get it.
Naturally. Right. So